it's spring again and I need to dye some more felts to make some more beautiful colours to incorporate into my felts, as well as dye some yarn. It's one of my most favourite things to do in the spring. So I'm going to show you a little bit today of how I do that. And here are some that I've just dyed this week. And I'm going to show you some of that I've actually done today. So we'll look at the process of how to dye wools and silks so that you incorporate them into your felt work. The lambs are really excited out on the horizon. They're just so cute to watch. And I just feel so alive and full of fun, just like these two little scallywags. So let's get back into the studio. On the way home I spotted these beautiful wildflowers. I just think they are so cute. They're like little fairy bells. I think they're called Flotilla or something like that, along with these wooden enemies maybe. If I'm wrong, please do drop me a comment in the comments box below. I always get my flowers wrong and my trees and my birds. I do know lots of them, but just so many to remember. Isn't spring exciting though? It's just on the horizon and I cannot wait till it gets warm. Bye. Bye. So I've got a bag of Wensleydale freshly shorn locks here, and they're a bit greasy and they've got lots of lanolin in, but I love these natural colours. So I'm just going to get some, this is very hot water and some mild detergent, sloosh that round. And then I'm just going to get some of these locks and put them in the water just to soak without really agitation, because you just want the lanolin to melt off. And yes, you can see all those gorgeous colours, all those naturals. They're just beautiful, but there is quite a lot of grease in there. I think most of the poo is out, thankfully, and the grasses. So I'm just going to pop them in, just sloosh them down. And as I say, I don't really want to agitate it very much. You can already see the water is disgusting colour, so that's good. That means the lanolin's coming off. And I will go and get some fresh water, same temperature, just to clean that off with. So I've let the locks soak for about 10 minutes, and the water therefore is still hot, and you can see it is very dirty. And I'm just going to place it in the other hot water, sloosh it around. And then I'm just going to pull it out. You can see that It's running a lot clearer, still a bit dirty, but a lot better than it was before. And just place it on the table to dry. Ugh, look at the muck coming out of this. That's pretty horrendous. But that's sheep for you. They're not the cleanest of creatures, but they are lovely. And they're all in the fields around me at the minute. Can you see this water is instantly dirty? So I'm probably going to have to do this several times. So I'll let you see it when it's finished. Just look at that. That's the first rinse. So now I'm just going to separate the locks. And can you see that lovely long lock? This is the bit here that will felt to the garment. And I'm just going to lay out these locks like so. So it's quite time consuming, but it's well worth the effort. So here I am set up for dyeing some silks. I've got basins with water, I've got trays to put the silk on when it's dyeing, little bottles to add colour to, plastic gloves. These are not the best gloves actually, but they're all I could find just for the moment. I've got some white vinegar, and then I've just got water, jars, paintbrush, and these are my acid dyes. I like to use this brand, Colourcraft. I'm not sponsored, but if they want to sponsor me, that would be great. And this is Easy Fix all-in-one dye, and I've got lots of different colours there. And then acid dyes are good for dyeing wool and silks, any protein fibres. So here I've got some old blankets that I've cut up into squares. Here I've got some pre-felt, some gorgeous merino wool and silk. I've got silk hankies, which are just stunning to dye, and then you separate them and you just get these beautiful effects. Can you see the luster in those? This is Angora, from an Angora rabbit. Here I've got some Wensleydale locks. I mean, the shine on them is just gorgeous. It's almost a shame to dye them. They're just such a beautiful colour in themselves. Here I've got some mulberry silk. It's like a blanket. It's absolutely stunning. And then it just, you pull it out and you get these gorgeous fibres that you can dye in a kind of huge bat. It's just beautiful. And then I've got more silk hankies. Moving along, I've got some Chinese silk here. This is quite stiff, but it has a really good effect when you're nunna felting. I've got some Ponge silk. No, sorry, this is a silk gauze. You can actually see through it. Can you see? Maybe not, but it is silk gauze. That's a scarf length. And this one is the finer silk gauze, and that's a scarf length too. And then I've got lots here of pieces, different lengths, in the gauze, which I'll use for putting over. And in my last video I made a book, which I'll show you one more time, and you can see the beautiful effects you get from overlaying silk onto pre-felt. Just these really beautiful. You see how, if I put it in the sunshine, just how shiny these textures are. So yeah, that is what I'm going to be dyeing today. And in fact, that bag down there, whoop. So I've put a teaspoon of magenta in here, and I'm going to mix up some primary colours, and I'm going to put another teaspoon of vinegar into the mix. There's a lot of dye on the spoons, just have to be careful that I don't get it everywhere. Excuse my funny voice, but that's about a spoonful. And then I'm going to add some water. This is just water, there's no soap in it, it's just an empty bottle. Whoops. And I'm not very good at aiming, am I? So there we are, I've got it everywhere already. But I've got a handy towel here so I don't get it all over the floor. And this is just in a little dropper bottle, which is good. And you don't really know how strong it's going to be yet, but a teaspoon in that amount of water is quite a strong solution. Give it a good shake. And there's my red. And then I'm going to do the same for blue and the same for yellow. So over here I've got, I think we'll go with turquoise. Another spoon, another clean spoon please. Here we go. And I like these Easy Fix dyes because they've already got some citric acid in them, which means actually you don't really need to add the vinegar. So a teaspoon in there. Remember to wear gloves because these things, this kind of dye goes everywhere. It's not actually toxic. The acid in the acid dye is citric acid, and the acid, the dye, sorry, gets taken up by the cloth when we're dyeing, so you're not actually putting any toxic colour into the environment. And this company that I use are safe, non-toxic dyes. So I've got blue, and then now I'm going to do a yellow. I'm just going to be mindful of my hands. I've got blue all over my hands, so you need to keep your hands clean. Where's my lemon yellow? Aha. Give it a good shake to get the citric acid mixed up. And for this one, I'm just going to put it straight into one of my squeezy bottles. That one seems to have a little bit of soap residue in, even though I've washed them a lot. So just a teaspoonful. I'm just going to, oops, gauge it in my head. Try not to get it everywhere like I did. What I really need is a funnel. I've got another spoon actually. And I'm putting 2 teaspoons in this because it's quite a lot of water. And then on with the lid. And give it a wee shake. So we can have an experiment now with these 3 colours and see how we get along. So I've got a tray, and I'm just going to lay out, well, first of all, I'm going to actually just wipe my hands because I've managed to get dye already all over my hands. The blue and the yellow are already making green. So first of all, I'm going to get some of my shorter lengths and just gently squeeze them. As you can see, I've already managed to get blue. So the dye needs the silk needs to be wet, but not completely wet through. And I'm going to start off, I think, in one of these plastic trays that I've kept from a sushi meal. And then I'm going to separate these out. And there's several in here. At least there should be. Here we go. Here's the first one. And today is an experiment really, because I just want some nice colours to make book journals and such like. So I'm opening it up, and then I'm just going to place it down. And fold it like so. And I'm going to try a rainbow one in this one to start off with. And let's get another one in there. I think this one I might just do orange. And then I think I'll put a bit of silk hanky, one of these silk hankies that I've wet, and make sure they're completely wet all the way through. And I'm just going to spread that out in the middle. Okay, so this is how we go to have a little bit of rainbow colour. So we're going to go red, yellow, green, blue. So I'll start off with the red. Now this has got a spray top. And get the lid off, which I can't. 1 second. So I'm going to start off at this end with the red. Now this is just a little spray pump. Or you can just do it directly. I think I might just pour it directly actually. Some red. And I'm going to go in with some orange. Some yellow. Where it mixes with the magenta. More magenta, I think. And then we're going to have some blue, mixing with the yellow, make the green. And I'm just going to take this spoon to just press down. Now this is just an experiment. You can be much more precise than I'm being. Squirty bottles with pipettes are really good, but I couldn't find mine today, so just because I wanted to crack on, I just thought I'd do it like this. Look at those gorgeous rich hues we're getting there. And I love the way that the green there is mixing. And then at this end, I think I'm going to go with some more red at this end. And we're going to go up and have some like purple. See the gorgeous mixing purple here that I'm getting. And the beauty of this kind of dyeing, you can speed it up by putting it in the microwave with a cover on it for a couple of minutes, or you can just leave it for a few hours to do the work itself. I just love experimenting and seeing what happens. Really want to try and keep those orangey yellows. Let's have a bit more yellow there. Just want to dry my hands because I've got dye all over it. And then I'm just going to go in with my fingers and just play around. I'm not very keen on having that green stripe there, but it's just experimenting. And then we can see just how strong or how weak they are. Now I'm going to put the lid on this, and then I'm going to take it to the microwave for a couple of minutes and just see what happens. So I've got a lid here, and make sure that you don't fully close it. And here I have a microwave that's just for dyeing. It's not a food microwave. So there's no worries there. Just need to plug it in and turn it on for a couple of minutes. So this is the first ones I did in the microwave, and these are some that I've put charcoal on, the colour charcoal that is, so they're going to be like greys. They look very dark at the moment, and I'm going to leave those to cold dye. So by that I mean I'm just going to leave them there for about 3 to 6 hours, providing it doesn't rain, and then I'll just go inside and rinse these off, see what lovely colours I get here. These are interesting colours. It's like a gorgeous kind of silvery olivey green grey, and then this beautiful jade, one of my favourite, jadey turquoise, and I'll put them on the line to dry with the others. There's nothing I like more than seeing my silks drying on the line on a bright breezy spring day. Just divine. Beautiful colours, and I'll show you them when they're dry. So here I am inside, and you can just see the sumptuous colours. The rainbows through to the magenta. And if we look closely, sorry, I've still got dyed hands. Please don't do as I've done. Make sure you wear gloves if you're going to attempt dyeing. Although these are non-toxic dyes, and effectively the top layers of my skin, the protein has taken the colour, so hopefully as the skin renews in a couple of days it will disappear. Not too drastic, but not advisable. And these are the rainbow ones. Just look at the way you get just such a surprise. You never really can be sure what's going to happen. And these are going to look stunning when they're felted in. Look at the light casting like gold onto that one. It's got such a gold rich colour, and this one is more subdued, but nonetheless it's still, I mean, look at those browns and teal, copper and teal and gold. And then this was the one that had a bit of charcoal in it. It's gone like a silvery grey colour. Just stunning.
I can't recommend enough to just have a go at playing with acid dyes. Remember, the acid is just referring to the citric acid or the vinegar. The dyes themselves are not toxic. They don't go into the environment. They get soaked up by the proteins in the fibre. Look at that green one. And then the turquoise. So I've got a fantastic bundle now of different silks to play with my felt work and nano felt. If you'd like to have a go at joining me with playing with these, I'm running a holiday in the Alps in France, and I'm also running a holiday in Norway. The Norway one is full, and these colours are going to be going over to Norway, and I'll show you what we get up to. But if you'd like to have a go at felting with me, check out my website at www.deborahsfeltstudio and check out the French holiday in the French Alps coming at the end of August this year, and I've still got 4 places left. So if you want a week of slow crafting, felting, nano felting with these sumptuous colours under the glorious French sunshine with fantastic home cooked French food and meditation, wild swimming and forest bathing, then this is the holiday for you. Check it out. See you soon.